Week number 9 of the Monday Night Madness spring season brings us to one of the shortest tracks on the schedule, Pavely, Missouri at Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway for some good action. It's Monday Night Madness on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, brought to you by the Ohsweken Speedway. We're so glad you could join us, everyone. Marty Sakala with you, joined alongside Zach Chapman once again. Zach, we'll get to you in just a moment. We are getting set to go for heat race number 1. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. On the pole, it's Michael Vecchio in the 007. Next to him, Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 2, Matt Schaefer in the 183. And Dan McLaren in the 88, who was quickest in time trials. Row number 3, Bud Molyneux with the 883, and Jeff Barker, the Bird to Beast, the 513. Rounding out the grid, it's Glenn Sharp in the 099. It's open 358 night here before we move on to our traditional Rebel and Renegade sprint car event. We're looking forward to a good one here, Zach, as we're about to go green.
Yeah, you're not kidding. The open 358s are what we love, and gives us bottom and top racing, and here we go.
6 laps in the heat race. Winner starts on pole as we're underway. Michael Vecchio a little bit sideways, inside row, has to check up, and Logan Wentz takes the early advantage. The Venom 88 of McLaren moves up to second, high, wide, and handsome. Vecchio to third, Barker to fourth. Logan Wentz, though, leading lap 1. Zach, here comes McLaren.
Yeah, Soupy not messing around. He went right to the bottom there in 1 and 2. There's a lot of tack down there left, and he's making a move. Not going to be able to get him at the line, but let's see. He's got a lot of time left.
Taking that bottom, makes it look easy. However, though, doesn't have Wentz cleared just yet. Rolling on the bottom, looking like Jordan Hutton in a CRSA feature. After Wentz scraped the wall, McLaren had him clear. Back, a heck of a race for third position. Matt Schaefer has Michael Vecchio clear. Jeff Barker, Glenn Sharp right behind him, Zach.
Yeah, and everybody going to make the show tonight, but every spot in these heats matter. That's 3 spots in the starting spot in the feature. So Jeff Barker, he's trying to go as quick as he can on the outside.
Wentz and McLaren nearly got together. Wentz caught the inside wall and had to get on the binders. That helps out McLaren, able to clear easily. And it's a good start for the Canadian off for turn 4. Dan McLaren on pole tonight. Wentz second, Schaefer third, Vecchio fourth, Barker fifth, Sharp sixth, and Molyneux rounds out the field and finishes 7th.
Yeah, good thing Logan Wentz backed out there. That could have been real bad for him. Still got himself in a good starting spot for the feature.
That first heat race brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Now move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Randall Dixon on pole position in the 011, and next to him, a brand new paint job of the Full Throttle 79. That's Dean Reynolds. Row number 2, it's Anthony Morano with the number 32, next to Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Rounding out the grid this season, the 213 of Michael Vitale and the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Take a look at the point standings coming in. It's Michael Vitale with a 121-point lead on Sam Bachman. That's without the drops. Morano's been the man all season long. Here we go, we're green for Heat 2.
Yeah, Anthony Morano, I think he hasn't finished outside of the top 10 all season in this series, Morano. Marty, that's a model of consistency.
Side by side for the lead. Reynolds all the way up on the cushion. I think he touched the wall for just a moment, trying to gather that race lead from the 011. Can he get it off for turn number 4? I think he can. Reynolds may have led lap 2, not too sure, but he was not the quickest man on track there, Zach. 13-17 for Dixon to a 13-21 for Reynolds, but Reynolds takes the lead that time.
No, and Dean knows he's got to go. He's quick, but man, that 32's coming up behind them real fast, so he's got to complete this pass and just try to set his sails.
Off the corner, it's Reynolds, Dixon, then Morano, the quickest driver out here in the 3rd spot. Now make it Reynolds with a 13.02 that last time by. But Dixon wants that race lead back. He's going after it, Zach.
Yeah, he's really trying, but just not enough moisture down there in 3 and 4 to really mount much of a run. He's good in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, it's tough on entry.
Dixon doesn't go for the slide job off for turn number 4. It's Steve Reynolds that wins heat 2. He's on the front row. Dixon second, Morano third, Vitale fourth, Verstraeten in fifth, and Bixler finishes sixth. One more heat race left to go, and it's brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park, home of the Dirt Car 358 Modifieds, opening up for the 2024 season this Sunday. Bob DeGood on pole position in car number 7. Next to him, it's Harold Club for the 555. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 107. Next to Scott Rail for the 444. Row number 3, it's Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93, and Craig Bristol in the 39. As we get set to go racing, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Thanks for joining us here on this Monday night. 9 viewers watching already. Early start to the night. We'll see it pick up here once we get the sprint cars out here. DeGood and Clump bring us to the green flag. Winner starts third in tonight's feature.
I'm anxious to see what's going to be the preference line here. I mean, we saw Soupy choose the bottom in the first race, and then Dean get it done on the outside in the second race. So both of them are there.
Rayom trying to thread the needle here for this race lead. That's Harold Clump that leads lap number 1. Rayom still trying everything. As you're on board with the guys on top, guys on the bottom. Rayom stuck in a thin lane with nowhere to go, but now he's got the good clear and wants the lead.
Yeah, it looked like Bob maybe backed out of it on the exit of 3 and 4, and well, Scott Rayom, he's going to appreciate it because, man, he's the man out front right now at the halfway point.
Oh, Bob DeGood gets turned off the bumper of Clump, and around he goes.
Yeah, Bob was floating up a little bit. Couldn't tell if Harold maybe could have backed out of it or if he was already in the wall himself. But tough break for those two.
Let me tell you something. The start for Scott Rayom looked a lot like the start of our CRSA feature last Saturday night at Thunder Mountain. Zach, I showed you a clip of it, what happened on lap number 1. They were 4 wide for the race lead, and Billy V went from 6th to 1st. Scott Rayom going from 4th to 1st here in this feature.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you just talked about it. That's the way they get it done in real life. If you get the chance to get all those guys before they get up to the momentum, that's the way you do it. And he's able to pull off the win here in heat number 3.
So Rayom with the win, Bachman 2nd, Butterfield 3rd, Bristol 4th, Clump 5th, and DeGood 6th. So with that, preliminary action in the books here for Open 358 competition. Gonna step aside, take our first break of the night. The Oswego Speedway warm-up taking place on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing here. Sam Bachman currently the quickest driver at a 13.012. Now it's Dan McLaren with a 12.978. Let's bring you in the booth here for the first time tonight. I'm Marty Sakala, joined alongside Zach Chapman. Bear with me, and my lighting's a little bit off here. But Zach, we're getting set to go here. The times are actually getting faster and faster throughout the night.
Marty, we think exactly alike, because that's exactly what I was going to say. It seems like they're ripping the top. I'm following Anthony Morano. He just pulled in the pits, and, I imagine he's thinking about a gear change. He's one of those guys who normally try to run the bottom, but, man, we're just seeing lap times get faster and faster up against that wall. So I think if you want to win the race today, you're going to need to be up there against that wall for sure.
The high side was where Dean Reynolds was back in his heat race, and he's currently 6th on the charts at the moment. So checkers are out here in warm-ups. We're set to go for our first feature of the night. Let's meet the field and give you your RSN Trackside starting lineup. RSN Trackside every Wednesday night on Rock Sports Network, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group. On the pole, Dan McLaren in the 88, next to Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 2, Scott Rayome with the 444, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 3, Randall Dixon in the 011, next to Sam Bachman in the 107. Row number 4, Matt Schaefer in the 183, and Anthony Morano, the Ant-Man, it's in the 32. Rounded out the top 10, it's Jason Butterfield, Butters in the 93, and Michael Vecchio in the 007. Row 6, Michael Vitale in the 213, and it's Bristow, baby, Craig Bristol in the 89. Row 7, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Trent Verstraeten in the 88. Row number 8, Harold Club with a 555, and Glenn Sharp in the 099. Rounding out the grid tonight, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, Bob DeGood in the 7, and Bud Molyneux in the 883. All right, we're getting set to go for feature time here. Zach, who's your pick to win?
Man, I don't want to jinx him, but I think it's the night to 79 parks at Victory Lane, Marty.
Tell you what, I'm liking the 4 here. Give me Scott Rayome. I think it's going to be a full throttle car in Victory Lane. Well, we're set to go racing though regardless. It's the Lucy Olson start. Steve King Foundation pace car brings it to pit road. It's time to bring it on at I-55. Time around off for turn 4. Reynolds tries to counter it back, but it's Soupy that leads the opening circuit. Reynolds downstairs trying to run the middle groove. Nothing working, but they touch for the lead. Reynolds hangs under it, touches the Jersey barrier off the pace. Rayome has to get on the binders up the track 3 by 3 off the corner as Dino falls back to 3rd.
Yeah, tough break there for Dino, but he's got plenty of time. Just needs to settle down, get rhythm, get against that wall. He's got plenty of time to go get those guys.
Now look at this action here. Meanwhile, with Randall Dixon stuck in the middle of this pack, you've got the 107 of Bachman trying to go high, wide, and handsome into turns number 3 and 4. That's the battle for the 5th position. And everyone wants to get as high as quickly as possible. You don't want to be downstairs, though, that's for sure, Zach.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought too, Marty. But the 83 of Matt Schaefer, somehow he is making it work. He's gaining spots, and I mean, he's going to work on Scott right now.
Randall Dixon got loose, but he may go to the bottom. He may have seen what Schaefer was trying to take some notes. Schaefer started in 7th position. He's made his way up to 4th. Now he was scored 5th for the line that last time by. 6 laps are complete here in this one. It's Dan McLaren, your race leader. The Venom driver being chased after a pair, actually a trio of full throttle motorsports drivers. They make it a quintet. That's what you call it, a full throttle motorsports driver. Wentz second, Reynolds fourth. Oh, Morano is crashed. Speaking of full throttle motorsports drivers who are running 2 through 5 on the opposite end, the points leader has gone around and Anthony Morano. Catches the wall. Everything's good. Nope, he just caught the wall and rode it and came to a stop. I think it was better for him to come to a stop and then to keep it on the throttle, because likely he would have sent the car around.
Marty, I love broadcasting with you. I was also just about to say that more people need to take note of what Anthony just did there, because if he hammers down, you see another car coming up behind him quick. He takes the lane away. I mean, that could have just been real bad. And somebody like Anthony, he knows he did that to himself. He just eats the punishment and takes the caution flag. Congrats to that 32.
Absolutely. That is a man with good sportsmanship and some good respect at the same time. So 8 laps down here underneath our first caution of the race. Why don't we bring up the 5-lap average for the first time tonight? Show you who the best car is. And it's very tight. Remember, the full throttle drivers love to use the Swan Speed Shop setup, and sometimes it's the baseline setup as we come back to green. First restart underway. Wentz and McLaren still door to door. The 118 looking to take the race lead away. Who's got it at the line? Way too close to call. Looked like the finish at Kansas Speedway last night for the Cup Series. I think it was Wentz, Zach.
Yeah, Logan barely
crash behind them. Jason Butterfield took a whopper of a hit.
And then Dean Reynolds got spun out after the caution when those guys were still racing up front.
He may still be able to keep his spot, though.
I hope so.
I think he kept the wheels rolling, so yeah, he keeps his spot. Let's see what happened to Butters. This was a big hit the 93 took. Contact between the 213, the 011, comes down to Butterfield and hits that opening right there. And let's show you what happened with Dean Reynolds. After the yellow waved, McLaren came down and expected Dean to be there. Reynolds kept it straight, but you see how the left front is a little bit curved in. Let's show that angle once again one more time. I'll bring up the television. Watch this left front. See how it's curved right there compared to the right front? That's the damage right there that Reynolds deals with. Green flag.
Ooh, contact up front on the restart. They're 3 wide already.
Oh boy, this is some wild stuff as McLaren and Wentz again door to door. Does Wentz send it into the slide job? Yes, he does. Wentz, McLaren, Wentz is the leader at the line.
Yeah, that 88 isn't finished, so he's going to think about
caution. That should give Wentz the lead. The accident for Craig Bristow and Bud Molyneux. In case you're wondering, by the way, Dino did decide not to pit. Let's show you the yellow here for Bristol. I think he may have caught the jersey barrier. I didn't see him really catch it, so it may have been a factor of neck code possibly. So your race leader now is Logan Wentz, the 118. That's big.
Yeah, able to win those duels to the line. You know, shades of Kansas yesterday, and it's going to be a big deal. And we're going to be single file for the rest of the race here. That's been 3 cautions, so very important.
Shades of Kansas and shades of the Kentucky Derby. As long as there's horses in the factor, whether they're real or just a term, there. 12 laps complete as we come back to green. Green flag. McLaren peaks underneath. See if he throws a slide job to play 118. Tries to play a little bit of defense off at turn 4. That helps out Wentz as he clears McLaren.
Yeah, you know, Logan's running kind of that no man's land right now, kind of in the middle. I'm surprised to see that working, but we're seeing a lot of success. Must be picking up some rubber in there.
Scott Real trying to follow his teammate to try and move up to the second position. But McLaren slides up to cut the line away, trying to aero block. Oh, McLaren, be careful. He gives Real the line. You can see it from the onboard there. That was very tight, Zach.
Yeah, you know, McLaren maybe knows he messed up a little bit, but man, he's never a guy who wants to run second. He's gonna constantly be down trying to hunt on that leader. And, you know, Scott and Logan, they've got the advantage of being teammates, so they can work together. Dan's kind of on his own.
That's the halfway point here in our first feature. Rayoum and McLaren, they dropped their cars for just a moment there. The Ford took second away at the line for McLaren. Now here comes the 107 Bachman, trying to make this a full throttle motorsports lockout. Oh, imagine what that would be for the team.
Yeah, they're looking really good tonight, showing a lot of success. I mean, they have been all season. It's weird to not see that 32 be part of this. But
Rayoum just got turned off from McLaren. He saves at the yellow waves. Wow, that just changed everything in this race. It was the battle for second position. Let's show you off another angle. Approaching the corner, McLaren just catches the bumper, and Bachman gets a piece of it as well. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how scoring is, because did the leader get across the line at the yellow? That's what I would like to know. Let's ride on board with McLaren. Right there, man, that's a pretty good hit. So McLaren drops to the back here. And Rayoum lost a couple of spots. However, though, still near the front. Did a restart in the 8th position after getting sideways. I think McLaren's stop is what triggered the yellow flag.
Green, green, green.
So we're back to the green flag. Wentz still remains the race leader. We're approaching 10 laps to go. Bachman second, Schaefer third. How about Michael Vitale starting from left? Trying for straight and starting 14th. He's up to 6th, Zach.
yeah, and you know, he's doing it in that middle line. It's so weird to see. I would have never guessed that that would be the preferred line. Dean's the first car on the high side there back in P6. So definitely a weird track tonight, Marty.
It's a weird track for sure. I wonder if this is how it's going to be when we come to our Rebels and Renegades feature. Here comes Bachman challenging the 118 all underneath for the race lead. America battling for the spot with 8 to go.
And they just need to remember to be nice here. They had the podium locked down before that trouble with Rayoum and McLaren, so they need to just hold on to 1-2 here.
7 to go. Who is the better car at the moment? Let's find out.
Matt Schaefer, he's trying to make it a 3-car battle, but he almost got in the inside wall, and now Vitale's looking on the inside of him, and he's up 7 spots up to P4.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got company from that 213. Here's a look at a 5-lap average. Bachman appears to be just a touch faster than Logan Wentz. This time they both gained some ground. 5 to go. Here comes Bachman for the race lead on Logan Wentz. Can he put the 007 to the point? Not yet. 4 remain, Zach.
No, and here comes that 88. He's just not going to have enough time, but I'll tell you what, Marty, if we get a caution, that 88's got something to say about this thing on the high side.
3 laps of racing remaining. Logan Wentz trying to hang on and pick up win number 2 of the season. Sam Bachman looking for his first. Matt Schaefer trying to get his first career coast-to-coast win. Verstraeten trying to get in the factor of it. He started 10. He's up to 3rd with 2 to go, but he's running out of time. Bachman switches upstairs. He catches the wall, though. Does that help Wentz pull away? Let's see what happens here. Bachman trying to get a bond, trying to get a big run. White flag is out, 1 to go. Wentz shuts the door. Sam Bachman up on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Counters it back as Verstraeten catches the wall. Big run to the end. They're into the stretch off for turn number 4. Logan Wentz takes the win at I-55. What a finish to this one.
Yeah, Bachman went up there and took the lane away from Trent, but man, he just couldn't get it to hook up like Trent was. He tried the crossover, not able to get it done, but heck of a battle to the finish line there for the lead.
Wentz wins, Bachman 2nd, Schaefer 3rd, Vitale 4th, Rayoum 5th. Verstraeten caught the wall at turn number 2. finishes 6th, but still remains your hard charger of the race. He picks up those 5 bonus points towards the championship. Daniel Nelligan in chat enjoying that race for sure as he's watching on Slide Job Racing Network tonight. Here's a look at the results. Wentz the winner, Bachman second. Schaefer in Zach's favorite paint scheme finishes third. Vitale fourth, Rayome fifth. Nice run from Harold Klump as well. Started 15th and finished in 9th. And then here's a look at the rest of the field. Bixler with a good run, started 17th and finished 11th. Tough break for McLaren, was involved in the last yellow of the race. Jason Butterfield taking the wildest ride of the night, that's for sure. So bring in the top 3. Funny thing, nobody's in yet. I think they're all trying to catch their breath after what we just saw.
They still probably hitting the scales. That's what we'll blame.
Probably. I don't know what is. I can't remember what it is in open at 350. I think it's 2,300 with a driver in the car. I can't remember. Hey, at least I can remember what our weight is for CRSA, which is 1525 with a driver in the car. And if you try to pick up mud to help with your weight, it gets scraped off. So, all right, we've got our winner and we've got our third place finisher. Hey, we need the third place finisher though first. So, all right, let's talk with Matt Schaefer. Matt, what a run you had tonight. Walk us through it, getting up to the front at the end.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, first off, I'd like to thank everybody at Full Throttle Motorsports, you guys for putting this race on. But most of all, thank you to everybody racing tonight. Everybody raced clean, at least up front. So I'd like to shout out to them. I had a great seat watching Logan and Samuel go at it 1 and 2, and I thought I had a pretty good car early. Then it started to fade away the last like 5 laps, and I thought the low line was where to be, but then I started to see that the top line started to come in, and I thought I was going to lose third.
What did you think? Where did you feel like your car fit well in the end? Because you were up there with the top 2. Did you feel like your car was better low or high? Both crews seemed to come in at the final laps.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was good low, but then all of a sudden, like I said, I thought the top started to come in, and I tried to run that middle, the slider line, but I thought low was where to be until like the last 5 laps.
All right. Well, we know you already gave those shout-outs, so with that, we'll let you go. Great job, and hopefully we see you in the Rebels. Best of luck.
Thank you. Hope to talk to you next race.
All right, sounds good. Thanks. Matt Schaefer finishing third. We'll go to our second place finisher, which is Sam Bachman. Sam, oh, man, that's got to be a tough break, man. I'll let Zach take this one here for you for the interview.
Well, Sam, you know, did you get any information from teammates telling you that Trent was coming there at the end?
Actually, to be honest, I actually peeked up in my mirror and seen him coming and seen how big a run he was getting. And so when I had the chance to get up there, I got up there, and I knew it was way faster once I seen Trent coming. And I got up there, and Logan seen me coming up there, so he just did what he had to do. And I mean, I would have probably did the same thing to him too. And I mean, it was a good, clean race all around, to be honest. Him and I were side by side for the longest time.
Yeah, no, 100% clean. The only reason I asked is if you got fed the information, but if you said you saw it, then, you know, you didn't get it early enough. But I was thinking if you guys were talking, if one of your teammates said, man, yeah, with about 4 or 5 to go, that top line just opened up. I think if you could have maybe went up there 1 lap earlier, man, you might have been able to steal this win. But all in all, you know, great night for Full Throttle Motorsports. You can't really complain about a second place, can you?
No, not really, to be honest. And him getting a win, that's pretty good, too.
Well, congratulations, Sam. You got any sponsors you want to thank on the podium tonight?
Yeah, all the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, and you guys for putting this all on for us.
Well, congratulations, Sam, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again more than once throughout this season.
So Sam Bachman, oh, I don't know if we just had a glitch there. There we go. All right, let's get to your winner and talk with him. Logan Wentz in the 118. Man, did you get nervous for him in those final few laps with Bachman getting the big runs?
Yes, absolutely. And 1 and 2 at the bottom is so much faster than the middle, and Sam was getting those good runs and scaring me, but I'd gain it through 3 and 4. I eventually heard him go up to the top, so I started blocking the top line a little bit and just finished the race out.
I mean, everyone was running the bottom here throughout the race, but were you surprised that the top came in the way it did in those final few laps? Because we saw first off Trent Verstraeten was coming around the outside. Then Bachman just told us he actually looked at his mirror to see Verstraeten coming. Then he made the switch up there.
I kind of wasn't really paying attention to my relative for the longest time. I was just racing in front of me. But I kind of expected the top to come in late in the race because I like to run longer races, and top usually comes in. But I expected mainly the middle bottom.
Walk me through as well the pass for the race lead on McLaren. I think, was it just, were you a little surprised that he took the outside there on that one restart, which gave you an opportunity to go for the spot?
Him starting on the outside gave me a better opportunity to get a better start off of him going because it's a lot easier to judge here at I-55 when you're on the bottom when the leader's going. So I just kept my run, and thankfully that caution came out and saved me.
It was a great run for you, man. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to thank Castleberry Flagstone for keeping me employed each week, FTM for giving me a spot to race on their team each week, Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, MDI TV, and Hi Mom Lens.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. A great run for you tonight. Congratulations, and hopefully we see you once again in Victory Lane next week.
I'm going to try.
Alrighty. Logan Wentz, your winner here tonight in Open 358. We're going to step aside and take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes. When we come back, we got Rebels and a lot of money could be up for grabs here. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live Wednesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We get set to go for our Rebels coverage. The Rebels are brought to you by our friends at Coast to Coast Racing Network. Double check something here real quick, make sure I'm not messing anything up here. As we welcome you back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. Zach Chapman should be back in just a moment less. Shaggy, you back yet or no?
Yes, sir. I'm loading up in the room right now.
Awesome, perfect, man. So we get set to go for Action Here. It's Rebels, brought to you by Malcolm's Mills Mill Running. We'll turn the cameras here back on once again while we are waiting to go for Action Here, because we're 5 minutes away from the earliest we can advance over to qualifying. Let's talk about some around racing. And first off, I think the first thing the country is talking about in racing. The photo finish in Kansas City that Kyle Larson won. The closest finish in NASCAR Cup history. What a finish, and what a crazy moment that was after the checkered flag when we all thought that Buescher won. And then nope, timing said otherwise, that Larson won.
Yeah, and hats off to Buescher for not putting Larson in the wall in 3 and 4, because that could have been it right there. Him won the race, but he tried to win it respectfully, and him and Larson.
Oh, I think we lost you, Zach. Zach, you got us?
NASCAR to its fun roots again, and it was a great race.
All right, there we go. We got you back. But I think something the world is talking about in racing, and this was pretty popular. The Miami Grand Prix, finally, I got my papaya orange on today. It may be a T-Mac shirt, but I have my papaya orange on today, Zach. Lando Norris is a Formula One Grand Prix winner and trumped Verstappen. How about it?
Yeah, I'm very happy for Lando, and Max was asked about it, and he's happy for Lando too. But I hate to put the stain on that, but man, there's been a lot of talk on Twitter today. What was Burton Nylander thinking in the safety car? He let Lando Norris go by and stopped Max, and that really gave him a huge gap to be able to pit and not get passed by anybody under that safety car. But he, man, a lot of speed from Lando. It's awesome to see that kid win.
The safety car rules at Miami, you lose 9 seconds for pit stops under the safety car. The safety car came out for that motorcycle. I think it was up like 11 seconds or something.
Yeah, but if you remember, the announcers talked about, so Lando was a lap ahead of everyone else. Max and all those guys are stuck behind the safety car. I went and watched F1 TV today to actually go back and looked at it, and the safety car, he was sitting at the end of pit road, and I truthfully think they're just so used to Max being out front that he pulled out and picked up Max, and Lando had already gone by, and if he would have pit that way, or that lap, he was coming out of the final turn right when the caution came, like the actual safety car came out, then he may have lost first to Max. It would have been pretty close. But with the way the safety car picked up Max, that sealed the deal. But, he still had to go get it done. And he ended up beating Max by 5 seconds. So that's impressive in itself.
Did you watch the pre-race show?
The F1 pre-race show? Yes, sir.
You do realize that Lando actually predicted his first, right?
Yeah. And I guess I saw he said today he's got a new good luck charm, and Donald Trump is going to try to make him tag along to a couple more races, so maybe he can win these other USA races if his good luck charm's there.
Possibly. Let's talk about just about a minute away from the ball. This guy on track is this man at number 62. This is Bryce O'Dell with a 10:54 at the moment. Do you think that we could possibly see tonight in the Renegades maybe someone trying to pull Kyle Larson go under 10 seconds?
It may happen. I don't know. We saw the track there was that awkward point in time where it did pick up a little bit of speed right before the feature, and I would imagine if these guys try to rip that lip, it'll wear in and they'll get a little bit of a cushion. So we may see a quick lap time hit.
You'll just have to see. Again, this is the Rebels, and let's talk about the other big story. Ross Corinna still unbeatable. If you could beat Corinna and he finishes in the top 5, the winner gets $50 tonight.
Yeah, I think, I'm rooting for Ross. I'd love to keep my money, but do you see him on those speed charts right now? He's either sleeping a little bit or, maybe he just doesn't have it here. We may have to get out the checkbook tonight.
I wonder if he's preparing for the invert.
I'm hoping that's the strategy he's going with.
But remember, as checkers are out here, remember it is 16 drivers, so I believe it's going to be a 2 heat race format. So we'll get set here for qualifying. First driver will take out eyes on the speedway is the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Now this has been probably the closest driver to beating Ross Corinna here all season long.
Yeah, we've seen it. He's been very quick, but he's just been getting himself into trouble. He's so fast. He always has the car on edge, and he likes to run right up against that wall. And he pays for it sometimes.
And one other driver has win this season. It was Gavin Chatham. However, though, Ross Corinna was not present, so the bounty money was not awarded. Ryan Dickens currently quickest after 1 lap at 11:67. Connor Ross looking pretty quick. Fifth. Quick time Ross Corinna. 11:54. I think he was saving everything for qualifying. I think he was just trying to play a little possum on us here, Zach.
Yeah, he said challenge accepted, Zach, and wow, he just put it down.
Let's watch Dan McLaren pretty closely. He was the quickest of all drivers in sector number 2. He may have something. Quick time! It's an 11,500. 11500. 3 more drivers left to qualify. Zach Neubauer in the 52, going to try and get some laps in. See what he can put up here on his first lap. And he's 12th quick at 11:87. 1 lap to go. Already more Clevenger qualify. Off the corner here, looking for a better lap. He will be close, and it is better. 11:85, stays in 12th. But it's Soupy Dan McLaren, the quickest of all drivers, so he'll start 4th in heat race number 1. So get set to go. 2 heats of 8 cars each, so you'll see Corinna start 4th in heat race number 2. Heat 1 of the evening brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies, and here is how they line up. On the pole, it's Canada Connor Ross, the 35. Next, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row number 2, Brian Dickens in the 122, and Soupy Dan McLaren in the 88. Row number 3, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 4, rounding out the grid, Bryce Odell in the number 62, and Tally Ulibarri in car 19. If you're watching, let us know who you're rooting for tonight. Bill Calder checking in. Should be good to go. I had to adjust my mic stuff from last week. All right, I think that should be a lot better now. I just turned up the gain just a little bit. Talon said he could not qualify. He is, he could not qualify for the week, so.
We hope you're feeling better, Bill.
Yes, absolutely, Bill. Feel better, man. These are trying to get some wheelies going here for us as we are going to take one more extra pace lap while we wait. Who are you watching out for closely? Obviously, besides Stan and Brandon.
Yeah, I think Connor, he got lucky with that invert. It's easy to pick the guy on the front row, but, man, he's just got such a good racecraft. He's very aggressive and just reminds me of Blake Chapman on tracks like this. He's very quick, and he knows how to make the car wide. He's going to be real tough to pass.
Well, this will determine the inside row for tonight's feature. Here we go. Good jump from Connor Ross as the field makes their way off in turn number 2.
Brian Dickens trying to waste no time. Yeah, no time. But Dean Reynolds, man, where did he come from? Shot out of a cannon going down the straightaway. He's going to battle for 4th.
Up to the 4th position. Meanwhile, Dan McLaren underneath for the 2nd spot. Reynolds, meanwhile, just barely with enough room to take the 4th spot and sends it deep.
Yeah, Dickens got him with that right rear, but Dean stayed in it, pedal to the metal, and he gunned it right on by up to P4.
3-car battle for the lead. McLaren trying to put the 88 out in front. Doesn't have Connor Ross just cleared yet.
Yeah, you know, these guys don't have the benefit of watching qualifying like we do, but we saw Dan once that bottom. That's the preferred line. He's making it work. Connor just moved out of the way, gave it to him. By 88.
And now Brandon Dittmer up to 2nd. Slides up on Connor Ross. Connor trying to counter back. 3 laps to go. Dino got Connor.
Yeah, Reynolds. Tough break for those two. They're just battling hard on the last lap, man. That's going to happen.
Allows Brian Dickens to take away the 3rd spot. Reynolds taking on to 4th, so didn't suffer too much loss of time. It was Connor Ross, though, that took the heat. Final lap underway, though, in heat race number 1, and it's Soupy Dan McLaren. That'll start on pole for tonight's 30-lap feature in the Rebels. Could he have a chance to take the money? Maybe if they stay with Brandon Dittmer, they both crash at the end. 1 and 2 as McLaren has to go wingless. We should just make him go wingless for the feature tonight.
Yeah, you know, we love that for the excitement, but boy, Dan McLaren's pit crew, they're not going like that. They got a lot of work to do.
Well, Brandon did what he did. He came at him like a spider monkey. Bold strategy there, Cotton.
Yeah, he did. Let's see if it pays off.
All right, let's determine the outside line. Heat 2 brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Gary Offord starts on pole position in the 94. Next to him, Steven Stewart in the 29. Row number 2, Trent Verstraeten in the 088. And the boss, Ross Corinna, in the 10. Row number 3, the bass man, Roger Craig in the 747. Next to Zach Newbauer in the 52. And Michael Vecchio rounding out the field. He starts from P7 tonight. Again, the big storyline here, Ross Corinna. If he can beat him tonight and he finishes in the top 5, winner takes home $50. Speedway, it's going to take some patience here, that's for sure, on the league application. Someone should get to you, though, at least within 24, 48 hours, I would assume.
Yeah, and actually the man who we said, Bill, we hope you feel better, he normally does most of that, and he's been dealing with some stuff, so he, like Marty said there, somebody definitely will get to that soon.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out, here we go. Gary Offa gets a good start on the field. Straight battle for the 2nd spot. Corinna up around the outside, trying to hang on to 4th. He's challenged by Roger Craig as lap 1 is led by the 94. Oh, look at this. Almost thought we were going to see 3 wide here. Corinna around the outside of Verstraeten. Try and take 3rd here, Dan.
Yeah, I think Corinna knows he doesn't have any time to screw around here, but now Stewart's starting to hook up there in that middle, and he's looking to the top one off it, so smart plan on Ross. He's just going to go in line with contact.
Verstraeten got sideways all by himself. Now up to start from position number 15 tonight. Meanwhile, Corinna wasting no time, up to 2nd. Oh boy, Gary Offutt's going to have a wild battle here if he wants to start on the front row this evening.
Yeah, I think Ross is really trying to run that high side in, but truthfully, I just don't think it's there. Steven Stewart's fighting back on the bottom, especially in 3 and 4, and he's going to lose P2.
Steven Stewart, quickest guy on track. Meanwhile, as he clears Corinna for 2nd in 11:80, that's the best lap of the race so far.
Yeah, it just seems like that little low entry, middle off is where you want to be, and he's showing it. He's real quick. He's got 1 lap to see if he can get that 94.
Final lap underway for Gary Offa. a car length advantage between him and Steven Stewart. Field makes their way off of turn number 4, off and up the track, and wins the heat. Stewart second, Corinna third, Craig fourth, Neubauer fifth, Verstraeten sixth, and Vecchio seventh. Warm-ups taking place right now. We'll step aside. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Continuing on here with our warm-ups here, Ross Corinna the quickest by just about 2/10 on Trent Verstraeten. Remember, $50 is on the line here to the winner as long as Ross Corinna is in the top 5. And something we need to mention here, I-55 is an easy track where you can cause a wreck with just, how tight it is here. Got to make sure you cannot wreck Ross Corinna to take the $50. Now, if there's a situation where there is contact, that will be determined by Zach and I. Speedway, if you're having issues with that, I don't know. Let me ask you this. Did you go to c2cro.com to join us? That's the official league application. You can't just go directly to the iRaces server and ask to be recruited. C2CRO.com is the place to go. So, all right. Feature time here for the Rebels. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole position for tonight, Dan McLaren in car number 88, and next to him, it's Gary Offutt in the number 94. Row number 2, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, next to Steven Stewart in the 29. Row number 3, Brian Dickens in the 122, next to the boss, Ross Corinna in the 10. Row 4, it's Dean Reynolds in the number 79, and the Bass Man, Roger Craig in the 747. Rounding out the top 10, Bryce O'Dell in the number 62, and Zach Neubauer in the 52. Row number 6, it's the mayor himself, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Trent Verstraeten in the 88. Rounding out the grid tonight, Connor Ross, Canada Connor in the 35. No call for Michael Vecchio or Dan McLaren to grid, so it is 14 drivers that we will see, or 13 drivers rather, that we will see here for tonight's feature. Time for picks to win. Who do you got, Zach?
Man, in my heart, I really want to pick Brandon, but I don't want to jinx him. It seems like I jinx everybody. So if I'm going to jinx anybody, I'm going to pick Ross Corinna tonight to come from 6th here.
All right, give me Dan McLaren for the pole. Why not? So we're getting set to go here for the Lucy Olson start. 30 laps, top 5, move up to Renegades pending the IL. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck comes on to pit road. McLaren and Offer gets set to bring us the green for the Rebels. It's time to get it on. First time by, McLaren has the lead. Oh, Stewart and Offer get together, and look who is up to second, the boss. Dimmer with more contact with Steven Stewart, and don't I watch out, McLaren, the boss is coming.
Man, he always comes through shining like a whistle, doesn't he, Marty? What a lap one for the Ross the Boss Corinna.
It is going to be a long night, that's for sure, for Dan McLaren. But he's got the quickest laps right now with the race at a 12.3. That's all going to change now because Brandon Dimmer up to third with a 12.20 past Steven Stewart for third. Or actually, rather, trying to hang on to that third position for right now.
No, yeah, you know what? Brandon's shown a lot of speed here, especially in turns 1 and 2. He's running that line we saw in the small box, kind of running that middle line. And, you know, I think Ross maybe looked in the mirror a little bit, saw that 83 coming. He's going to go up high, a little higher than the 83, though.
Underneath the second position, now the boss wants to take a behind the cushion. Remember, turn 2 on the exit was so good. In the final laps of the Rebels feature, Corinna up to the regular sneaker of McLaren for the race lead. The perfect line. McLaren shuts the door on him, though.
Yeah, McLaren floated.
Oh!
Perfect. Oh, he's too aggressive with that slider. That may cost him, Marty.
That cost him big time for the yellow waves, and that is going to be tough to tell where they threw the yellow. I think scoring will have Ross Corinna as the leader.
Yeah, iRacing has them as the leader. They were the only 2 to cross the line before the yellow came out, but it was just enough. Wow.
Here's the cause of yellow. Jack Newpower and Bryce O'Dell. Get the yellow. Let's watch out for 2. Contact with Dean Reynolds. O'Dell had nowhere to go. That's a tough break for the 62. He was the quickest car of anyone back in practice.
Yeah, you know, you don't ever wish that on anybody, but you're going to have it happen to you. You like it to be early like it is now. He's got 20-some laps to still get some guys back, so can't put your head down just yet.
So first yellow of the night out here for the Rebels. Let us know your pick to win here for tonight. Will we see the bounty increase to $60? Or will somebody claim 50 tonight?
We've got to try and figure out what our longest winning streak is in this series, because this is unbelievable.
Remember when we did the Vandyville bounty and like it took like 1 week for somebody to claim it?
That's what I'm saying.
If I were to guess, the longest would have to be back in the lane Snook days
Green
or something.
flag, green flag.
One of the Australians dominated. We'll see. So we're back to green. Corinna holding serve off at turn 2. McLaren stays in second. Third. Here comes Fred for straight in. On the top shelf once again. Trying to get a big drive and beat Brandon Dimmer for 4th, which is what I think he just did.
Yeah, and remember, Trent was involved in that wreck in the heat race. He had to start the whole way in the back, so what a run here for Trent.
Oh, and he caught the wall once again up in turn number 2. Spot to Brian Dickens, slightly touches and more contact. Darrell goes the 122. And same with Bixler head on.
All right, man, caution is out.
Second yellow waves. That was like 3 accidents in one, and then somehow it turned into, it was only just 1 accident.
Yeah, you know, and that's where you don't put the blame on anybody. They're all trying to race hard, but that's where we go back to why we credited Anthony Morano for doing so well in that last accident in the previous heat. He just, you know, got on the brakes and brought out the caution.
It's right on board with the mayor, Steve Bixler. See on board with the mayor. He'll go grab a quick repair. Plus number believes Steven Stewart's going to win. Started 4th. He's currently up in the 2nd position right now. Had a good heat race earlier on tonight. Why don't we bring up the 5-lap average and show you who the quickest driver is on track lately. And right now it's been both Stewart and Corinna running just about identical laps, and it was the same for Trent Verstraeten and Brian Dickens too before that yellow. Final double fire restart of the night. We're back to green.
Great jump from Ross. He's able to pull up in that middle line where he saw Steven Stewart was so fast and he can shut the door there.
Clears McLaren for the 2nd position. Brandon Dittmer trying to get around the outside. McLaren tries to cut him off. That's the battle for the box up the podium. How about the man in 5th, Roger Craig? Started 8th. I don't know where he came from with that last restart. He had to have shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, and you know, he's just show and tell. He saw those guys getting it done on the bottom, and he's staying committed down there, and he's still doing it. He's working on Soupy.
Contact with McLaren and finds a way to hang on. Verstraeten bounces off the wall. The fast man's up to 4th.
He's going to work on that 88 here. Can he seal 4th here at the line? I don't know.
I think he
he's
just
going to
did.
hold on to it.
Just barely, and right now this is allowing the top 3. Drops the ball away behind them, 3 wide for the 6th spot with Dean Reynolds. Steps though, that's Connor Ross trying to rebound after spinning out in his heat earlier tonight. Who did he get spun out by? That man Dino, oh trouble. Dan McLaren goes around, Mixler up in the wall. He saves it, no caution, we stay green. Meanwhile, the lead for Ross Corinna hasn't really increased a lot. He's still got a lot of company behind him. It's Steven Stewart. We're coming to 11 to go, Zach.
No, yeah, and you got to wonder if Steven Stewart, he's just, you know, not really showing all he's got yet, just kind of hanging out. Knows he doesn't need to get the lead just yet. And I mean, he's right there in striking distance if he wants to think about a slider.
Maybe he's saving his stuff.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of the angle I'm going with, but doesn't have much time to save his stuff because look who's coming behind him, that 83.
Brandon Dittmer trying to rebound after nearly gathering the lead earlier on tonight. Dittmer around the outside. Oh, Stewart touched the wall. That's not gonna gain him a lot of time though, that's for sure.
No, and you know, it made Dittmer think about going to the bottom, and that's somewhere where he hasn't been comfortable. He lost a lot of time doing that. He's listening. He just needs to stay to the high side, keep ripping.
To go. Corinna, the slower driver on the racetrack compared to Steven Stewart. This could get interesting, folks. Stand by. Bounty increase to 60, or does Steven Stewart take home 50? Coming to 5 laps to go this time by. Gap at 0.3 of a second between Stewart and Corinna. Last time by, who has the better lap? It was Corinna by 200s. Risky entry for Stewart. Now allows Corinna to pull away a couple hundreds.
Yeah, that's a very risky entry because, I mean, with the line that Ross is running, he's not going to be able to pull off that pass down there, so he needs to think about that and not sacrifice exit speed.
Corinna gained 0.2 that last time by. The afterburners, have they turned on for the boss? We'll have to see. He's 3 laps away from increasing the bounty tonight. Only thing he does not want to see is some bright silk come up in the air. 2 to go. That time by identical laps at 12:84. Down McLaren crashed. Oh boy. Steven Stewart just got a gift. Zombically just put it all by himself. Oh, that was very strange. It's like the throttle hunger. He had a pedal issue. Let me ride on board McLaren. That is very strange. Kept his car on the gas. Man, that's very strange. I gotta admit, Zach. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
No, that's kind of weird how it torqued around on him there, even coming out of the corner. That happened very fast.
Dan, if you're watching, let us know what happened.
Steven
what are you
Stewart needs
thinking
to make
now? So what are you thinking now if you're Stewart and Dittmer? How do you attack Ross Corinna here?
I think Dittmer's got the most to gain. You know, he's got right behind that 29. The 29 can't get caught sleeping here. He's got to go.
Here we go, back to green. 2 laps to go, overtime. Great jump from Corinna, who holds serve. Stewart stays low. Dittmer moves up to the top shelf off for turn 4. White flag waves, 1 lap to go. Racing behind for second. That's just what Ross Corinna wants to see in the rear view mirror. Dittmer moves up to second. Trent Verstraete in third, but the bounty is increased to $60. Ross Corinna wins again. Dittmer second, Stewart third for the second race tonight. Trent Verstraete takes the hard charger from 12th to 4th, and Dean Reynolds finishes 5th.
You know, Brandon, he worked hard for this one. I think we've gotten disappointed, Brandon, a lot in interviews this season. I think we're going to get smiling ear to ear, Brandon, tonight. He had to work for P2.
Corinna, Dittmer, Stewart, Verstraete, and Reynolds all eligible for the Renegades, pending IL. Dittmer just got back from work, I think a little while ago. Which, by the way, definition of work: golf.
Amen. That's a good day at work. Well,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Rough break for Dan McLaren, who finished 11th after catching the wall early while leading, and then had the issue with 2 to go where it seemed like the pedals just went away or something. So. All right, we've got your top 3 on in here. We're going to go to Steven Stewart, our 3rd place finisher. Zach, we'll let you begin with this one.
How's it going, boys?
Hey, Steven, sorry, I was clicking the wrong push to talk button. I'm really good at that. Hey, man, heck of a run today. You know, not able to hold off Brandon Dittmer there for P2, but, man, you were really making that middle groove work throughout the middle of the race. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of testing this week at this track. I'm trying to chase that bounty down, but I found that middle early on in the race, and I found out that I was like every time I could just make probably 2 car lengths up on Ross on the entry, but he's just so good on exit. So I ended up burning my tires up around like lap 25, and then that green white checkered is not what I needed. It's everything I could do to hold on to the podium.
No, you know, I kind of said that there when you guys were coming to green. I said you were kind of the guy, you know, who probably didn't want that there because you could see you were falling off the leader, and Brandon was just making that high side scream at the end. But, you know, Steven, we're glad to hear guys are out bounty hunting, man. That's why we do this. We want to draw interest. So, you know, tell your friends, let's knock Ross off the top podium step.
Oh, dude, I'm trying so hard.
Well, man, congratulations tonight on the P3. Hard fought. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank Taylor Wineland with 25 Enterprise and House of Speed that he helps build with. Without those guys, this car just wouldn't be anywhere competitive at all. Aside from that, the boys that are hanging out in Discord with me on a regular basis, we're all working with each other to make each other faster, and family. You guys for putting on the stream, coast to coast, putting on a great series. And Ross and Brandon for being great competition.
Well, Steven, congratulations, man. We love having you, and hopefully we talk to you on the top step next Monday.
Oh, yeah, I'll be trying. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, sounds good. Steven Stewart, your 3rd place finisher.
All right, let's bring in the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, who finished 2nd. You went from golfing to finishing 2nd. Man, what a turnaround that is.
I raced a hell of a lot better than I golf, that's for sure.
Ah, man. I mean, I know you weren't in contention to win late in the going is because Corinna and Stewart had both pulled away from you. But to finish 2nd at the end, to get that caution, I'm pretty sure you'll take that.
Yeah, I was begging for that caution to come out. Just one final shot at the top 2. Luckily I got it, but it's still rough.
How did you feel though about your car as a whole tonight?
The car was all right. Got some very unnecessary incident points, unfortunately, but Just that kind of stuff happens, unfortunately. Just gotta kind of roll with the punches as they come. But yeah, second place, another second place to Ross. Hopefully, a couple tracks I'm not too sure about coming up. Yeah, hopefully we can do something about it.
Well, regardless, it was a great run for you and a great performance. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
You guys for the broadcast, Roger for Coast to Coast. Speed Factory for the setup. Beat the boys over at Training Wheels Racing, and the boys over down at Venom for letting me hang out with them today.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and best of luck in Renegades.
Thank you.
Alrighty, Brandon Dittmer finishing in second. To victory lane we go to talk with the boss, Ross Carino, who has increased the bounty to $60. Zach, you got it.
Ross, man, talk to us. I know that race is a long time, but man, if you remember it, talk to us about that first lap. That was one of the best lap ones I've ever seen in a sprint car.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I'm not really sure what happened to the guys in front of me. I kind of figured the way the track was during warm-ups there, everybody was on the bottom, and I kind of just thought to myself, if I could get a good start and get a run on the top, I could maybe get it wound up and get around a couple guys. And like I said, I don't know if some guys made contact there or what happened, but luckily it worked out for me. And I don't know if it was the first lap or 1.5 laps, and I was up to second. So yeah, it's a good gamble, and just lucky it paid off.
Yeah, man, you got the memory of an elephant. It took you exactly 1.5 laps there to get to P2, but good drivers remember that kind of stuff. Were you worried there at the end of the race when the caution came out, or did you think you had it locked up?
Well, I pretty much thought if I could get a good start, there wasn't going to be enough time for anybody to do anything there. Obviously, I would have rather not seen the yellow flag, but obviously that's how racing goes. So when you dealt with it, when you dealt it, you just kind of deal with it. And luckily, I was able to get a good start and got a good gap right away and was able to hold them off.
Well, you're increasing that bounty to $60 now, Ross. It's getting to that point where you may need to get one of your teammates in here and teach him how to run second. And you pull over and split this thing. What do you say?
We could throw a back row challenge in there, and I'll take the bounty if I win.
Oh, I got $10 if he does that.
Oh, Marty, do we consider that?
I got money in that one.
Hang on, what was it again? I'm
so
sorry.
He'll start from last place next week, but if he wins, he gets the $60 and it ends the bounty. Dude, I maybe want to do that. If we get at least 15 cars, I'm down.
If we get 15 cars, we're down, and then Ross gets the $60. Dean will contribute an extra 10.
Yep, and I got another 10, so we'll make it 70.
You got it. Where are we at next week anyway?
I have no idea.
I'm double checking right now. So
I got the schedule up.
I do too.
Yeah.
Now I want to quote Dan McLaren on the start of that race because he was in the Venom Discord. He goes, "That SOB is up to second already." In that lap and a half, he didn't say SOB. He kind of spelled it out, but.
So question: If I don't win next week, from the back row, does the bounty continue at 60, or is it just done then?
I think it's just done then at 60, and then Dean, do you want to contribute the 10 still to whoever wins?
Yeah, let's do that. As long as if Ross is still on the track, we'll still do the same rules on the track top 5.
Roger just wrote in our broadcasters chat that we should up it to 18. He wants 18 to be the number.
Nah, it's my money. I'll do 15.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm going 16.
Yeah, that's an even 8 rows. Yeah, let's get 16 cars.
16 tonight. 16 next week for.
All right, so I got to invite Lawson, Salsa. We'll invite Venom, all of them.
Oh, and it's Lernerville. Where would we rather be? Lernerville.
Yes,
what a great track.
So,
all right.
I think we got it. I'll have to type something up. So, but anyway, Ross, before we let you go, who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Yeah, as always, the Phantom Motorsports guys, Vanderbilt guys, M9 Performance for the setup, Velocity Race Design, Power Outdoors, Weichel Sportswear, RK Farms, you guys up in the booth for putting on the show, and then everybody behind the scenes.
All right.
At the League Cat Coast to Coast.
All right, sounds good. Big moment for you next week, so we'll let you go. Congratulations.
Right, thank you. Thank you.
Ross Carino with the win here tonight. We'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's the Renegades right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
We are back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, getting set to go for Renegades here at I-55, brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Marty Scala with you alongside Zach Chapman, and joining us as well in the booth. You can't see him right now, but you can hear him. Our buddy Dean Reynolds getting set to race in the Renegades. What's going on, brother?
Well, everyone's cheering because they can't see me and just hear me, so that's a good thing. Doing good, Marty. Yeah, just we got a little run there on Roger on the outside and got around them there at the late stages. Got top 5, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to Renegades again. So third time this season, but I was sitting there in the Discord and I was talking to the guys and I said, I've been in the top 5 in every Rebels race, but only 3 of them I wound up finishing there. So you still got to finish these things, but we'll give it a shot. I felt okay, and the other way to learn is to run with these guys because Zach, as you know, that these guys are the best.
Nice, yeah. And if you've just joined us, we've got some breaking news for next week. If you missed the Rebels, Ross Corinna took the win once again. Here is the plan for next week. If we get 16 cars, Ross Corinna will have to start from the back. If he wins, he takes home $70 of the bounty. $60 from Zach and I, $10 from Dean. If somebody else wins and Ross is in the top 5 and doesn't get wrecked and stuff like that, $70 to the winner of the feature. So the bounty will end next week. All right, this bounty will end next week. So, and it gives drivers as well a good. It gives Ross as well at the same time a bunch of opportunities to pass and a lot of time because it's learnable.
Yeah, that track really permits good racing, and since we've seen this new dirt package, we've seen the bottom really come in other tracks, so he'll be able to work his way around, and man, we'll have to have a Ross Corinna cam next week, following him through the field.
We may have to get a camera on him. I know he hasn't done really our in-car cams in the past. We haven't done it in a while, but we may need to actually put one on him.
To watch him come through the field, you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to do that. That's because, when you get 16 sprint cars out there and you got them all doing fast things, there's cars all over the place. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure it will. So we'll have to hook him up with something. So, but anyway, next week, Lernerville Open 358s begin at 7, Rebels 7:45, and then 8:30, I believe it is, for our Renegades on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 2 minutes away from getting qualifying all set up. Dean, how's the 360 feeling here at this track right now, early on in the practice session?
Well, the track's still got a little bit of bite, which is, I'm coming off the race I just did, where it's really slick, so it feels good right now to me because I can actually put the foot to the floor and let her eat a little bit here, but it's wearing in nice. Even in a small block race there, I-55 has been really good tonight. I don't know if it's with the settings or what. I mean, I set up the 358 race. I put a little high humidity on and low wind, and it seemed to work. And, here in the Rebels, there's cars all over the place there, too, and it looks like it's going to be the same type of track.
Zach, I'm not sure. Go ahead, Zach.
I was going to tell Dean, he better not lie to us. He's in a rocket ship right now because he's P5 on the speed chart, and he got on this track way late because he was in that last race. He's ahead of guys like Blake Chapman, Patrick Spangler, who are all here on that fresh track. So you better keep an eye on that 79 tonight.
Dino, I'm looking at the 5-lap average here right now in practice, and it seems like you're up there top 6, top 7 or something like that. So.
Well, it's, I got a good setup. I mean, I got Spangler helps me out with the setups, and he sends me what to run and everything else. And, it's more setup than it is driver. And really, it's just, but I'm learning. I got, as you know, I purchased the new wheel and pedals, and now I got the new hard drive in the computer. And, and that, as I believe it or not, the new hard drive seems to help because everything's running a little bit smoother. So I've been actually, got a good string of good finishes since the charity race. Because the charity race was the first time I got back in my own rig.
Awesome. So practice should be wrapping up in just a moment. 18 drivers make up the car count. Keith Jackson, by the way, the quickest driver out here right now in 11:48, followed by Dr. Ross at 63. I don't think here's at I expected those two drivers to come out swinging.
No, those are two names that are not normally the top there battling. Dino is watching him. He's on his side right now.
I think Devo was giving me a how do you do. I think he let off going in, and I think he ran out of gas. He says, "I'm going to stay right here. Dean's behind me."
I was hoping Zach noticed that too at the same time. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was quite the ride there.
That was fun.
Roger says that we're waiting a little bit extra. We're going to give Jeff Barker a couple more minutes. And he's on live timing at the moment, so I would assume right now he is just loading up.
Speaking about a guy that's really gotten fast in sprint cars, Jeff has really stepped it up this season. Even in the fixed setups, he's been very good.
Yeah, not just in the sprints, but in the modifieds too. He has looked very impressive.
You guys aren't kidding. The big block especially. That seems the...
Yes. Man. He's very good in the big block. You're right, Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he made it into the pole shuffle for the big
Yes, he
block.
did.
He did.
Yeah. Parked at P2, I think, in qualifying. It was unbelievable. I didn't mean to sound so shocked when I did the broadcast, but man, when he put that time in, my jaw dropped.
No, it's not saying anything bad. We know Jeff is a great racer. He could start in the back and still finish top 5, but he's not known for running the top and going fast and everything. He's more consistent and keeping the tires underneath him. But now, putting a little bit of qualifying speed on top of that, it's really, excelled his game.
No, you're exactly right. And it seems like, about 2 updates ago it started, and it just keeps improving. It rewards guys like Jeff who are patient with the tires and don't go all out in the beginnings. You're really seeing it. Not that it wasn't, a sim before, Dean, but as well as I do, you could go out there and run real hard like Lane Snook used to, and you get away with it, no problem. But now, man, it just doesn't translate. It's much different.
Now, it's all about saving your tires, and then I found out lots of times now everyone wears their tires almost the same, but it's how much heat you put in them. And if you overheat them by going too far sideways in the corners and everything else, then that makes your tires feel like they seal over. So then when you get going on a restart and you whomp on it and all of a sudden your car's like way sideways, it's because you overheated your tires.
Yeah, it feels like the tires are covered in saran wrap when you do that. Yeah. You just have no grip whatsoever.
John Short's coming in right now, too.
Oh, nice. Some extra guys here. So we'll have about 19 drivers racing with us for Renegades. Dean, see how you do in qualifying. So we'll see who the first driver is that makes their way out onto the racetrack. 2 minutes for the drivers to qualify here. Winner of the quickest lap gets to start 4th in heat race number 1. So about 18 drivers. Believe we'll have should be about 3 heats of 6, I would guess, here tonight.
Yes, because the max you can run in a heat is 8. And then, so if you're over 16, they'll go to 3 heats.
First driver here is Jack Clevenger in the 78. He gets to set the bar in qualifying at a 12:03. They made the track slick. Bob Good the quickest. Gary Taylor the quickest at 11:71. Now it's Keith Jackson at 11:55. Jack Clevenger up to 5th. Jackson off of turn 4 for a much better race lap here. Jesse Bandy up to 2nd, 11:59.
Yeah, and we saw some guys there go to the top in qualifying, but it seems like the bottom is just where those guys up front ended up choosing to go.
How about Jesse Atkinson second quick and at 11:56? 4th quickest.
So that's where I messed up, because I went top.
Gotcha. 4th quickest for Blake Chapman on lap 1 at 11:61. Let's see if he can improve. He's slower, 11:69. Ross Corina on lap number 1, checking on it. He's 15th quickest. I may have just scraped the wall there off for turn number 2, which would invalidate the lap time. This lap time is much better, and it does count though. 11:81 on lap number 2. So Keith Jackson the quickest. He'll start 4th in Heat Race 1. Jesse Exon starts 4th in Heat Race 2. Jesse Bandy 4th in Heat Race 3. So that means your pole sitters will be Brandon Dittmer in Heat 1, John Short Heat 2, and Ross Corinna in Heat Race number 3.
Sandbagger Corinna. Jeez.
Oh, he ran the high side like you. I was hoping that you were sitting in the car. I tried to work that in to tell you what line to run, but I didn't know you already went out there.
All right, we're ready to go for our first of 3 heat races, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. The Spider Monkey on the pole, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Next to him, it's Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row number 2, it's the Salesman, Blake Chapman, the 20, next to Keith Jackson in the 113. Row number 3, Bob DeGood in car 7, and Jack Clevenger in the 78, and rounding out the grid, the Brew to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Let's see who's checking in here. Stephen Goldner wishing Vanderbilt good luck. He is watching from a plane, heading home 30,000 feet up in the air. Steve Bixler says he'll. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
No, I was gonna say I just don't see how you pass guys in this heat. This looks like a feature to me. This is unbelievable.
Steve Bixler says he'll have to check DraftKings on Corinna next week. Use code.
I won a few bucks in NASCAR last night.
Just remember, use code C2CRL. Use a $5 bet. Use code C2CRL. Get $200 in free bets.
I know that.
Not a valid.
You're welcome, Dean, if you bet on Larson, because this is the first time in the past 4 weeks that I haven't bet on him, so he decided to win the race.
My racing show has a betting segment, and right now I have like, we start with $1,500 like a Monopoly. Like I'm at like $1,540. We're green 51. 3 wide for the race lead early. Court Chatzer wasting no time, going to the top. See who leads the opening circuit. Superman to the point, followed by the Spider Monkey and then the Salesman. All the crews working very well early, Dino.
Yeah, bottom and middle. So that line I did in the time trial still ain't working, and you know it's got to be middle dominant if BD is in the middle there, because you know he would be up against that wall.
Chatzer, car may be on the track. We'll check. Nope, it's Blake Chapman, 11:61. That time by Keith Jackson third, Brandon Dittmer fourth. Salesman looking for the lead here at the line. Still Jackson the focus now.
Yeah, you know, he's trying to be as smooth as he can, but now he sees that 113 sniffing in behind him in the mirror, and you know that does a wonder on you. So he's got to try to be smooth here.
Nearly touched, still just about dead even at the line. Chapman maybe shots are off a turn 2. No, a great exit by the 218. We've got 2 laps to go at the line here, Dean.
Boy, it's a great race, and Kurt's got a real good line. His car, he's in the middle, and he's keeping the car straight. So that's getting a good launch off the corners, and that's what's keeping him ahead of Blake.
He's found a way to clear the 20 with 1 lap to go. Chapman not over yet. Car late to the half. Field makes
little defense there.
Great block from Chatzer. Checkers are out, and Superman wins Heat 1 and is on pole. Chapman second, Jackson third, Dittmer fourth, Clevenger fifth. DeGood finishes 6th. We now move on to heat race number 2, which is brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Here's a look at how they line up here. It's John Short on pole position in car number 51. Next to him, it's Brad Waite in the 814. Row number 2, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, and the Pink Panther, Jesse Hicks in the 127. Row number 3, it's Dino, Dean Reynolds in the 79, and Devo, Donovan Ross in the 5. Dean, best luck in this heat. We'll talk to you again in heat 3.
Yeah, maybe I'll pull a wheelie back here.
Now we'll see what happens. He always gives the best wheelies, so that's for sure. Don't tell Brandon I said that. Let's see here. We're gonna have to grade this wheelie. Oh, he's trying. Oh, he's trying. Almost had Spangler. Oh my goodness, that would have been an epic fail, Zach.
No, it would have been worth it. Patrick would have had a huge smile on his face.
He's trying. Oh, that's a nice wheelie. I don't know. I'll give that out of 5. I'll give it a 4. Give it a 4. 5 if he had a lot more air.
Oh, out of 5, I was like 4, Marty. I was thinking out of 10. I thought you were rushing for a second.
Nah, 4 out of 5. No. I ain't that way. I like to grade out of 5. So, all right,
Green
winner
flag,
starts
green flag.
in second tonight. Green flag is out. Here we go. Oh, Spangler and short touch off return number 2, the 39. Finds a way to save it, but to the lead goes Brad Waite with Jesse Atkinson in second. The Pink Panthers trying to waste no time going for the race lead, Zach.
Oh, yeah, Jesse Atkinson really going to take a peek here. Thought about a slider, not enough room, though, and Brad Waite's going to hold on the outside.
Inside was Hal Kurt Schatzer 1. Brad Waite continue on the outside. Atkinson had the best lap last time by. That time by making Waite. Yes, 11:85 to 11:96. So on the outside, 11:81. He's up to third, and Dean's trying to follow him here.
Yeah, Dean and him have been battling back and forth all race. They got together on lap 1, and they've just been going at it back and forth. It's like a boxing match back there for P3.
Trying to fight back. Patrick Spangler, after a lot of contact earlier, Atkinson for the race lead. Waite with a slide job from Howe to go to the floor. What a move by the Pink Panther.
Yeah, Brad Waite, good thing he was alert there. He had to get on the binders, but live to race another day. He's got 2 more laps to throw one back of his own here.
See what he does here. Gap of car length and a half, but Atkinson just so smooth off in turn 4. Waite got a little bit sideways there compared to the 127. We're on the final lap. Atkinson into turns 3 and 4. Final time in heat race number 2. The Pink Panther on the outside of the front row. Waite second, Short third, Reynolds fourth, Spangler fifth, and Devo sixth.
Heck of a battle back there for Spangler to get back and, one spot there, but still, that's 3 feature spots.
Dino, take a deep breath while we're at it. Let's go to the heat lineup for heat race number 3. As the boss is on the pole, Ross Corinna in the 10, next to the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. Row number 2, Gentleman Jack in the 217, next to the Bandy Boat Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49. Row number 3, it's the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, the 161, Barry Goldner in the 36.
Got to be tough to pick against Ross here, right? Riding that momentum after the big Rebels win. He's got a chance to go win himself $70 next week. I mean, he's ready. He's the guy right now.
Put that pressure on him.
Ross looking to go 2 for 3 here tonight.
The only reason why he doesn't have a perfect score is he didn't show up.
I know a lot of you guys have been texting me saying that the sound's a little bit quieter than normal. We're trying to work on that. I've had to make a couple of adjustments here throughout the night with my mixer. I had to take it with me this past weekend. Some of the settings may be on and off here. I thought it was just I-55. But anyway, grid is out for heat race number 3. Look at
Ross
Gary
Corinna.
Taylor. Near contact with him and Jack Hitt. It's Ross Corinna tries to pull away. Taylor goes up the hill, has third for right now. Bandy with some slight contact. Both of them up the banking. Bandy sideways and hangs on to it. Meanwhile, Corinna, my goodness, a 7/10 of a second lead on Jack Hitt here, Dean.
Yeah, Ross is smooth down low, found some bite, and I know he says I like to thank M9 for the sets, but I got a feeling I think Bandy helps him out a little bit too.
I think he does too, even though he says Bandy's not a sponsor.
I think he's just saying that to throw us off.
Probably. Here's Bandy around the outside of the Desert Demon looking for third as we're halfway home here, Zach.
Yeah, Old Smokey's getting a little loose there coming out of 2. That's going to allow Bandy to just slam the door shut going into 3 and 4. Going to get a big run, and he's going to beat him to the line here.
Bandy has Landis cleared. Still the best battle on the racetrack. 3 laps to go in Heat 3. Winner will start third for tonight's feature. The second place finisher will start in the 6th position.
This is really kind of new territory for Jesse Bandy. He normally likes to rip the wall and everything where he goes, and it's kind of interesting what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to set up for the feature.
Yeah, completely different, that's for sure. So, meanwhile, Ross Corinna off of turn number 4, wins heat race number 3. Second jack hit, Jesse Bandy third, Landis fourth, Barry Goldner fifth, Gary Taylor finishes in 6th. Warm-up watch time brought to you by the Oshweek. Hit the wrong button a little bit early there. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Jack hit the quickest driver at 11:92. That Jesse Bandy and Jesse Atkinson. That's the top 3. Let's give the schedule here for the rest of the week in the Coast to Coast Racing Network on your broadcast schedule, to be specific. Wednesday night, Hometown Heroes, which is now on tour. We'll be going to Lanier on Wednesday, followed by pickups at North Wilkesboro, broadcast at 7 p.m., broadcast by OSRN. Thursday Night Thunder, the small blocks, the big blocks at Kern County. I'll be broadcasting that portion, followed by late models at Kern County and Xfinity at Darlington, broadcasted by Extreme E-Speed TV. Then next Monday, we are back here for week number 10 at Lernerville. That begins at 7 p.m. on Slide Job CM. Checkers are out on warm-ups. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for spending your Monday night with us. Let's meet the field of 19 or 18 ready to take the green. Here's the RSN Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, it's Superman Kurt Schechter in the 218. Next to him, it's Jesse Atkins in the Pink Panther in the 127. Row number 2, the Boss, Ross Corinna in the 10, and the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. Row number 3, Brad Waite in the 814, and Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. Row number 4, it's Keith Jackson in the 113, and John Short in the 51. Rounded out the top 10 this evening, the Bandy Boat Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49, and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row number 6 is Dean Reynolds in the 79, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, the 161. Row 7, Jack Clevenger in the 78, and the High Side Banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 8, Barry Goldner in the 36, and Bob D. Good in car 7. And row number 9, you have Donovan Ross, Devo in the 5, the captain Gary Taylor in the 34, and Jeff Barker will be rounding out the field, the Bird to Beats in the 513.
Oh, good, Jeff made it.
Yes, good to see Jeff made it in the show. All right, time for picks to win. Dean, we'll start with you. Who you got tonight?
You know, I'm gonna go with Ross. I I think he's got something going with this track, and I want to see him get a Renegades win as well.
Zach?
Dean took my pick. I'm going to go with Blake.
Sorry, brother.
I'm going to go with the Pink Panther from second. So, Dino, best of luck tonight, brother. You all right?
Thank you, guys.
All right, field is down the back straight. We are set to go green. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck set to go. It's time to wing it and bring it, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Renegades action from Pavely. It's time to get it on. Start brought to you by Lucy Olson. 35 laps around I-55. Schatzer and Atkinson wing to wing off of turn 4. Schatzer is able to clear. Blake Chapman up to third, pass across Corinna with Brad Waite rounding out the top 5. Some good racing early here, Zach.
Ditmer, Jackson, and Bandy are 3 wide for P9 right now. This is unbelievable.
Schatzer looking at the race lead. Atkinson cuts him off. And now the 218 tries to fight back downstairs. Trouble. Jesse Bandy has crashed it in turn 2. And you see Bob DeGood also involved. Bandy may have taken a lick. Barry Goldner is also in it. The front wing is gone off the 49 Heisenfeld machine. Grab a replay here real quick, show you what happened. I mentioned they were 3 wide, Zach. You were not kidding. It was starting a little bit dicey. Jackson caught the tire. And Terry Landis takes a shot at the accident, too. And same with Bobby Good. A couple of drivers with nowhere to go.
No, and there are definitely some drivers who need to use quick repairs. And like I say, you want to use it, you might as well use it early, but man, nobody ever wants to use that thing.
Live to Good did use a quick repair. So under the first caution here, double file restart. Schatzer selecting the outside as we're ready to come back to green. 3 laps in the books this time.
Green, green, green.
Schatzer decides to go late and hold serve. Let's see what Ross Corinna does. Blake Chapman decides to take it 3 wide. 3 by 3 off in turn number 2. Atkinson and Waite are the meat in the sandwiches right now at the moment. Blake Chapman goes 2 for 1 up to second, Zach.
Yeah, and if you're Atkinson there, you feel so helpless. You got nowhere to go. He didn't have a terrible restart, but Blake and Ross just had excellent restarts, and man, Blake is hunting for that leader right now.
Yeah, he almost got it there. So good at the entry of the corner. Meanwhile, Corinna with a slide job on Atkinson, who has to hit the brakes, and look at Gentleman Jack Hitt go in the top 5 and looking for 4th off for 4.
Yeah, Jack Hitt was the fastest car in warm-ups, and he is ripping that lift, but you got to wonder, he's running that thing awful hard, Marty. Is he going to have any right rear tire left when we come down the 5 to go?
Maybe not, as we're working lap number 8. Blake Chapman using the bite off for turn number 2, taking Brendan Lacey's line up front into turn number 3. Schatzer Watts banking off for 4 for momentum. Who's got it the line? The Salesman takes the lead as we work lap 9.
Big deal. If a caution were to come out in this lap, Blake would have lane choice here, and I think we'd see choose the bottom. Blake is running it so good down there. Look who, Marty, that 10 car is trying to follow him by.
The boss is coming, and is following the Salesman. Racing Schatzer for that second position at the moment. And that low line right now, that is the place you want to be. And at the same time, you can even save your tires, but Corinna washes up the hill for just a moment, allowing Schatzer an opportunity to try and get second back here. Let's pull up the 5-lap average, see who the best race car is. It's right now Blake Chapman, but the second best, you have to give it to that 217. Gentleman Jack Hitt is coming, and he wants a podium spot, Zach.
Yeah, but Kurt Schatzer's kind of moved up out of that middle lane, and he's taken that high line away from Jack Hitt. So if Jack wants to get up to P3, he's going to have to go somewhere else.
Wing to wing in the turn 3 once again. Hitt wants to clear and he does clear Atkinson, who had a bad exit off for turn number 4. Schatzer fighting back for second, though, on Carreno. Head, meanwhile, caught the wall. Atkinson takes fourth away. Here comes Wait for fifth.
Yeah, and Atkinson's going to throw the slider. Jack thought about crossing over, but Brad Waite was home on the inside, so Jack's going to lose 2 spots here.
John Short also up there as well, and same with Dean Reynolds in 7th and 8th, respectively. Meanwhile, Kurt still fighting Ross for the second position. Everyone, though, watching the race for 4th down the back chute. Short shuts the door on Brad Waite as he looks underneath Jack, hit nothing there. Patrick Spangler now showing up to the occasion. It's been not so good of a day so far for the high side bank. He's starting 14th lockout. Jack hits around and collects Dean Reynolds.
Yeah, there's nothing really Dino could do. You know, that's why we like I say, I hate to keep bringing it up, but we praised Anthony Morano so well. When he got in the wall, he just shut it down. And, you know, Jack got in the wall, came back down, wasn't up to full speed, and Dean's racing. He gets forced in the middle, no room. And, man, that's just going to happen when mistakes happen in front of you.
Tried to keep the car going. Reynolds came down. He had nowhere to go. Brad Waite just about came up on him. Oh, you saw Keith Jackson with the ARCA brakes in the aftermath. Let's go on board with Jack. Jack may need a Jack after this one.
And, you know, I think Dean's going to be happy out of all that. At the front end, it looks pretty straight. Little wing damage, but, man, those wheels look totally fine. And that 79 will be able to go to work.
That looks out of proportion right now, so... Come back to green. It's Blake Chapman who selects the bottom. Another look at the 5-lap average. Final double file restart. Best driver at the moment, both Chapman and Short. So it's the KSR guys that are looking really good right now. Look at Atkinson using everything in that cushion as much as he can, trying to get a heck of a lot of speed. Schatzer, though, shuts the door right in his face. Schatzer, how low can you go? Corinna trying to crowd him underneath. Hangs on to second for right now. Atkinson nearly Hail mounted. Oh, a lot of contact between Brandon Dimmer. Around goes Jack Clevenger, collects Dimmer and more. And that'll put a single file for the rest of this race.
You know, that started real early going down the backstretch. Somehow Dean Reynolds was involved in it too. That's a tough break.
Dean may have been in an accident that did not lead to a yellow flag. Let's see what happened in the 79. Short got Waite, got Reynolds in the wall. That is when the front wing shattered.
Yeah, and then from there, you know, you can see Patrick Spangler kind of came down, and that sprung everything from there. It's just a tough break.
Just look how tight the race was. Spangler and Clevenger were just about hooked. Everything but hooked. So I believe we're 1 to green here now. Going 1 lap to green this time by.
And pace lights are up, but looking like we're single file now, so.
Single file for the rest of this race. We're coming back to green here with 14 laps remaining.
And honestly, if I think you're Ross Corinna in second place, you want single file restarts. You don't want anybody to be able to get a jump on you on the bottom. That's where you want to go to work. So
Atkinson testing the lip once again. Big run on Schatzer for the bottom step of the podium. Now Schatzer with the outside. Who's got the advantage of the turn number 3? Atkinson takes third. Now can he secure at the line? Schatzer crisscrosses, and Atkinson's got third.
And Atkinson's going to stay up top. And boy, Marty, that cushion is so thin. It takes a lot of cojones to run up there, but he is flying against that wall.
Did Atkinson maybe save some stuff here? He started second, faded back a little bit early on. Ross Corinna now knows it may be time to go to the top.
Yeah, it looked like there for a second he was going to go rip that lip, but he ran the middle. He's going to stick to the middle for now, but man, you see that guy coming behind you, you got to be tempted to go up there. We're going to have a lap car.
That's Gary Taylor. Here goes Corinne around the outside. This could get interesting with Gary Taylor. He's stuck in the middle. Holds up Blake Chapman. Chapman knows it's time to go top. Corinne underneath. Watch out for the Pink Panther. They split the 34, and around goes Corinne.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Short on the binders. The 10 makes the save, but because he caused the caution, he'll have to drop to the back.
Oh, man, what is the official thinking there, Marty? He kept it rolling. He's got to get a hold of the back. Tough break for us.
The race director, the ghost race director, threw that yellow way too early. The yellows are controlled by iRacing, not by our admins. Yeah, that's not a yellow in my book.
No, not at all. He kept it rolling, never really came to a stop. I mean, you know as well as I do, Marty, with iRacing, we've seen some wrecks that, oh my gosh, especially at Charlotte, we wonder how a caution flag didn't come out. There, it's just a little contact, and iRacing quick to throw the yellow.
The leaders get together, and Ross Carina is probably calling shenanigans right now against iRacing. But look who may have the advantage here, as we're going to have just about 7 to go when we come back to green. Jesse Atkinson was on that haunted shield line really well. He's got the best car right now in the 5-lap average.
Yeah, he's been really making it work up there up top, and you know Blake's been real patient on the bottom. You got to wonder if he's thinking about going to the top.
Let's see what happens.
Green.
Will it take the high side to cook in? After the tires get cooled down, though, exit in the wall. Can't be doing that, though, that's for sure. Let's remember, this is a guy that went from ADRA to the training wheels racing in the off season. Could be taking them back to victory lane. We'll have to see. 5 laps to go. It's either the Salesman or the Pink Panther to get it done here, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, he gets in the wall again. You know, he's able to make up time on Blake, but he just keeps making a mistake in turn 1 and 2. We've seen him get in the wall twice since the restart. He needs to stay smoother. He's just not going to have enough time.
He does it once again. He's run out of cushion, but this time in the wall for the entire quarter. This allows Schatzer to close in and go for second. Atkinson needs a yellow bally, probably right now, in my opinion, with 3 to go.
Yeah, you know, he's going to be lucky to hold on there if he gets in the wall again. I don't know how much longer that right front can stay straight. And Kurt Schatzer's really putting the pressure on him.
2 laps to go for Blake Chapman. 40-point lead coming in. It'll increase tonight with Patrick Spangler stuck at 8th. Final lap underway for Blake Chapman. In the Galen's homegrown popcorn, Krite Sim Racing, number 20. Down the back straight for the final time off of turn number 4. The Salesman, his 5th win of the season. Let the popcorn fly. Atkinson 2nd, Schatzer 3rd, Short 4th, Bandy 5th. Your biggest mover tonight, Jeff Barker from 19th to 10th.
Heck of a run for Jeff Barker after having computer issues. Not able to show up there for the heat, and then look at that run. Good for him.
Blake Chapman getting the job done. A great performance for him.
Oh, I wish so bad we could throw up that picture right now, Marty.
There you go, right there.
Oh, you got it?
Yep, the podium.
You read my mind.
Blake Chapman could be closer and closer to his 3rd Renegades Championship. A title that he has not won since 2021 in the fall. Here's a look at the results here for you this evening. Chapman the winner, Atkinson 2nd. Don't worry, Dean, we got you unmuted here. Schatzer 3rd, Short 4th, Bandy 5th. Spangler with a good run from 14th to 7th. Bobby good from 16th to 9th. That's a great run for him. Then drives with rough brakes, Blake Chapman. To me, iRacing got him once again. I guess the game listened to the bounty and were like, you know what? Okay, we'll do it right now. So Tough break for him and a tough break for Jack Hitt, finishing in last this evening. Alrighty. We'll begin with your third place finisher here in Kurt Schatzer. Kurt, a consistent run for you this evening, keeping it on the podium. I know it's not the win, but this is probably a run that you'll definitely accept here tonight.
Oh, hey, yeah, Marty. This is it's a big positive one to put in the notebook here. I've been struggling a lot through the season here, the Renegades. But I got to owe it to M9s, their setup shop. They're a phenomenal group of boys over there that can really dial a sprint car in. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sitting on the podium. But I tell you what, it was a workout. Track got slick. I was shitting a brick when I realized I had to pull here with the Renegades. So I was just trying to keep it safe, not screw up anybody's night there. I'm pretty comfortable with running the top. The setup felt really good for me. Yeah, like I said, I was just trying to stay clean and have a good run.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to tonight?
Oh, like I said, M9 Performance, all them guys over there. Dirt Track Bank, Hammer Down Racing, all the boys over there, Brian Dickens and Brian Templeton, Joe Halter, Got Your Six Racing Network, Friday Night Lights, you, Marty, and Zach and Dean doing the broadcast. You guys are a good group of guys to have in the booth there, calling an awesome race. And Roger, Preston, everybody giving us a place to race coast to coast.
All right, man, we'll let you go. Great job tonight. Best of luck next week.
Good job, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so that's Kurt Schatzer, Superman, finishing third this evening. To the Pink Panther, who finishes second tonight, and Jesse Hickson. Zach, you're going to have to move him up for me. My mouse is acting a little weird here.
Hey, Jesse, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Copy.
Well, hey, man, started second, finished second. Not a bad run. You know, you can't really complain. Did you think you had anything for Blake there at the end, or was he just too quick on the bottom?
Coming, I think on like lap 25, started reeling them in, and the lap car definitely helped in that. Probably could have passed him, but then the caution came out, and I just kind of figured it was over from there as I was cooking my tires on the outside, and there's no way I'd get up the speed and time to beat Blake on the inside there. And then with 5 laps to go, my tires were just basically gone. I was just trying to hold on.
Yeah, you know, we kind of talked about that. It makes sense. Just the way the cautions come out, you know, the tires seal over, and you know, you seemed like you had momentum, but it took you 3 or 4 laps, you know, to really get it rolling, and then the cushion got so thin in 1 and 2. But you know, able to hold on to second place, man, can't really complain. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, got to thank TWR, the team I'm with. Got to thank Velocity Race Designs for the wrap I got. Got to thank Ager Esports, for Cold Media, all those guys. Thank my parents for watching. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast so I can go watch it back. And then gotta thank all the admins, all the guys who put on these races. Always have a blast. And obviously gotta thank myself for not putting the car up into the fence.
It's the first time I heard somebody thank themselves. I love it.
All right, Jesse, we'll let you go. Great job tonight.
Good run, man.
Thank you.
All right, so Jesse Exon finishing second. All right, let's talk.
Oh, Marty, you know what this means, Marty.
Yep. Dean's getting warmed up.
You know what this means.
Dean is getting warmed up for it. Let's talk to the salesman, Blake Chapman. Blake, what a drive, man, to get it done. The low line, you know, you didn't just have to save tires. You actually drove easily on the low line. Well done. What a performance.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. The bottom was definitely where I wanted to be. It definitely wasn't easy there at the end. I kind of felt like a sitting duck because the entries of the corners were just going away for me, and I couldn't get in how I wanted to. But the bottom was just so fast. I didn't want to make a move and move up, but you know, I saw an opportunity with Gary being a lap car, and I could tell at the pace he was going down the back stretch that if I tried to get below him and hit the bottom in 3, that I was just going to get crunched between him and the wall. So that was my chance to move up, and I did, and I was able to kind of use him as a pick, and I think Ross just got into one a little too hot, but I got to thank Shorty. He was telling me where they were getting me at in both corners, and I was able to move up after that caution to a line that was really comfortable and really fast and able to seal the win.
That was the secret because Shorty was holding me up there. That was the secret, or else I was coming for you.
he was kind of spotting for me at the same time while he was driving. So I gotta thank him. I think I might buy him some Galens.
So pretty much you were aware of Corinna and Axon, especially him, ripping the cushion, trying to close in.
Yeah, definitely. I was more Ross than Jesse. I figured Jesse was up top, and that's what Shorty was telling me. But Shorty let me know right before we got to Gary that Ross was really coming in that middle. And yeah, I think Gary. Oh, I thought Gary was gonna, not be very helpful to me, but he ended up being pretty helpful tonight.
Well, next week we go to Lernerville. How are you feeling about that track? You've won there in the past, and you're starting to get a week closer to ending that championship-less streak in the Renegades.
Yeah, man, don't jinx me yet, but yeah, guys know I like to run the bottom, and Lernerville is the top dominant track, so definitely try to keep it on the track and not go over the top of the track, and hopefully we can have another good run.
All righty. Dina, you
Oh,
ready?
here we go. Here we go. Absolutely. Come on, Blake. Don't let me down.
I think this is Dean's
Don't let me
favorite part
down.
of the night.
Yes,
right here.
yes. CART. Come on.
Well, first I got to thank the family for watching and supporting. I got to thank the guys of the Crichton Racing team, especially Shorty, for helping me out tonight. I got to thank President Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and AJ Custom Creations, and I should just let Dean do it. Really, I think he knows it.
No. You got to memorize. I stumble and fumble. I'll sit back here and enjoy.
Well, he's done it plenty of times. What Dean does, he goes online. He goes to Galen'sGourmetPopcorn.com. He selects what he wants, and he does not forget to use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off his delicious popcorn.
And now he adds their new barbecue sauce, too.
Oh, yeah. I can try that out.
Me. You're kidding me.
No, he's not kidding.
Oh, my God. Well, next purchase is coming. C-A-R-T. Buddy, write that down. C-A-R-T.
He just said, buddy, wrote that down.
I actually have one question, because you won't tell me your set, you won't tell me your gear. We all know that now. I know my role, but have you been practicing a little bit more on the bottom? Because you have been doing something special on the bottom, and the way this build is now, and the way the track conditions is. I love running the top, but I'm also trying to learn to run the bottom now because the way the track states is, that's an advantage. But yet, you got smoothness down there, and you can still come off hard. And although you said your entry was a little bit messed up, but is it practice, or are you just naturally comfortable doing that?
No, I mean, I've always felt comfortable on the bottom in iRacing, and just the way the track comes in all the time. In the past, it's always been top dominant tracks, and it hasn't just been in these things, but you like the small block, big blocks too. Yeah. I've been running the bottom really well in those this season, so I'm enjoying this new track state and how it's coming in. And
we've noticed.
Yeah, I'm just loving the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's good. Good run, man.
Now, one more thing, Blake, before I gotta let you go. I got something on Messenger from both. I'm gonna pull up the booth here. I got something from both Zach and Bixler. I think Bixler was the first one to send it to me. He sent me a photo of you eating regular popcorn and put the capture where it all began.
Ooh, regular popcorn. That doesn't sound like me.
So what
AI generated.
Was the photo like 5 years ago when he was like 10?
It must be AI generated, he said.
I can't let that photo get out. I can't let it get out.
Hey, when you send it to me, anything can get out.
You know what? We're going to buy him a bag of popcorn at the Knoxville Nationals if you go this year, Blake, and I'm going to get a picture.
Well, I might have to put a Galen sticker over that or something.
Absolutely. We'll be okay with that.
All right, Salesman, we'll let you go. Congratulations.
Good job, man.
Great win tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Blake Chapman getting it done here at I-55 Raceway. Final thoughts on the night, Zach. We'll begin with you.
I mean, just an epic night of racing. It started out with good races in the 358. We saw different lines all night. You could run the top if you were willing to risk that thin cushion, or you could be safe, run the bottom, and still go fast like we saw Blake do. And, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm definitely looking forward to that 358 Open next Monday. But, man, all eyes got to be on that Rebels race with $70 on the line.
Oh, yeah. Dino?
Yeah, I'm going to be mirror driving my ass off in that Rebels race. No, I'm just kidding. I think we added some excitement to that. Well, first of all, we got to make sure we get 16 cars in there. So we'll do a little soliciting to get some guys to come out of hibernation a little bit, because I think Ross would want 16 cars so he can try this. And, he's earned it. I don't think he has to worry about the championship or anything like that. So it'll be a lot of fun. But you know what? I-55 did not disappoint tonight. That was a racy racetrack. I mean, I passed a lot of cars there, even in the Renegades, and I had a little bit of bad luck there, unfortunate, but it was a racy track tonight, so I'm sure the viewers had a good time.
That was a phenomenal event tonight, that's for sure. So with that, we will bid adieu on the night at I-55. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, Roger Craig and his admins, all the fine drivers and sponsors. On behalf of my broadcast partners tonight, Zach Chapman and Dean Reynolds, Marty Sakala saying so long. Congrats to your winners here this evening. Logan Wentz in Open 358s, Rebels Ross Corinna, and Renegades Blake Chapman. So long, everyone.